Sophia, it's Mia. I really hope you call me back. You've missed our weekly checkpoints, and I'm concerned you didn't review any of your pre-award documentation with me. I'm just trying to help make sure this goes smoothly. Call me back.
Yeah, definitely not calling her back.
Hey, how'd that thing go yesterday? The review?
It's fine. Not worried about it.
You sure?
Yeah, I got it under control.
Are you sure, babe? Because
it's fine.
I could help, but
I know, but I've got it handled.
Let me hand.
I've got it handled.
Ah, you're finally awake, neighbor. Listen, we gotta talk about this shared fed.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay, you know where to find me.
Unbelievable.
Hey.
Seriously? Hey, maybe don't stand there.
I mean, I'm just walking here.
Picture a quiet suburban morning. A house like any other. A routine like any other. Inside lives Sophia, a capable contracting officer's representative, but living under the false impression the work of a COR starts later. Later, when the contract is already in motion. But long before a contract is signed, decisions are already being made. Tonight, we explore what happens when a COR must finally confront her role at the very beginning of the acquisition lifecycle. First, it is critical for Sophia to learn that even before a contract is ever awarded, its fate is already sealed because unclear requirements equal unclear results. Welcome to the Contracting Officer's Representative Zone.
Typewriter main? What?
Sophia,
Mia, what are you doing here?
I need to talk to you.
Why didn't you just text me?
I did. Right there. We need to talk about spending some time together on the typewriter project. We need to review the...
Why are you in my house? I need to get out of here.
Sophia, don't forget your lunch. And you never consult me about that typewriter specs. You know that's my specialty.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I promise we are not doing that.
Well, look who's finally up. What are you gonna do about that QASP? You know I can't move forward without that QASP. All right, good talking to you.
Hey. Typical. No one ever consults the end user.
It's you again?
You know, we could be working together.
Sophia doesn't know it yet, but she is trapped in a cycle of her own making. Her lack of focus on a pre-award phase is grinding her program missions to a halt. First, it is critical for Sophia to learn that long before a contract is ever awarded, its success or failure has already been decided. Not by the contractor, not by the market, but by the clarity of the requirements she helps shape.
Sophia.
Mia, you've got to stop doing that.
Okay, good. You've got your files. Before you run off again, I need to talk to you.
Okay, let's talk.
I'm the CEO. I just want to make sure that our mission actually succeeds. And even though no contract has been awarded yet, the outcome is already taking shape. What you define now determines whether this contract succeeds or struggles.
Doesn't the CO make sure that's taken care of?
If your requirements are vague, the proposal will be vague. And if you don't do real market research, the contract might end up asking for something that doesn't even exist or can't be done. And if you don't define what success looks like now up front, you'll never know whether the contract is actually performing or just staying busy.
Right, well, I need to figure out what's happening here.
Perhaps if you spent some time on the typewriter contract, you might find what you're looking for. Do you remember what pre-award stage you're in?
I barely remember how I got here.
Well, the pre-award is a series of stages, and your role changes at each one. First, requirements identification and definition. That's where we figure out what problems we're actually trying to solve. And at this stage, your job is to help put the government's need into words clearly. Next comes acquisition strategy planning. How we're going to buy it. Contract vehicle, contract type, period of performance. You are my partner. So, our technical inputs can be accurately and appropriately reflected in the determined strategy. Then comes drafting the procurement request package. This is usually the heaviest lift, but also where you shine. You lead the coordination and development of core documents, such as the requirements document. Whether that's an SOW, a PWS, or SU, the corresponding QASP as necessary, and the IGCE. However, there are usually gaps in information we have to fill in. So we
Conduct market research.
Exactly. See, you know this stuff. We leverage market research to learn about what we don't know or refine what we know. So we can be smarter buying it. Then we can take all that good stuff we learned from the industry and weave it into our PR package documents prior to finalizing them for submission to the CO, me. Once the CO, me, gets our PR package, then we can build the solicitation and you're still involved, reviewing it for technical accuracy and help answer industry questions. Then finally, the last stage before award is quote proposal evaluation, where you're involved as a technical evaluator and serve as part of a team responsible for evaluating offer responses based on the set evaluation criteria and methodology.
Okay, you're right. I get your point. I should be more focused on these pre-award activities. Frankly, I'd probably save myself a lot of headaches post-award and speed up the back and forth with you. Okay, thank you, Mia.
Honey, don't forget your lunch. And you never consulted me about the typewriter specs. You know that's my specialty.
Okie dokie.
Well, look who's finally up. Hey, what are we gonna do about that QASP? I can't move forward without the QASP.
Who are you again?
What? I'm the contract specialist. I work with Mia. You're kidding, right?
Hey. Typical. No one ever consults the end user.
Maybe next time. I'll go a little faster.
You know, we could be working together.
Sophia has learned that contracts don't fail at award. They fail much earlier, when requirements are unclear and success is left undefined. In her first lesson, she discovered that attention and effort before award determines everything that follows. Now she must learn if she fully understands what constitutes a PR package. She must provide the CO everything she needs to understand what the program's requirement is, why they need it, and how much it should cost.
Hi, Mia.
Oh, I didn't think you'd notice me.
So I've been reading through the files, and I really think we need to spend some time looking at the requirements. We really got to lock those down.
Well, yes, that would be great. I'll schedule something.
Sounds good.
Sophia, your lunch. And you never consulted me about the typewriter specs. That's my specialty.
Okay, Pookie.
spooky.
Well, look who's finally up. Hey, what are we gonna do about that QASP? I can't move forward without the QASP.
I'm gonna regret this. Fine. What about the QASP?
Did you even try?
Sure I did.
Well, you didn't specify how the government will verify contractor performance, which is kind of the whole point.
But isn't that what you do?
Okay, let's review a little. The QASP is part of a PR package. When you hand me a PR package, you're not asking me to figure it out for you. You're giving me a documented requirement so I can execute the acquisition on your behalf. As the COR, you're the program team's lead and my partner in executing what's needed to procure whatever it is that the program needs to buy.
You've seen hundreds of PR packages, and they're all the same. Why does this matter?
A solid PR package keeps the process moving. No endless back and forth, throwing over the fence and waiting for one party or the other to fix what's missing. It gives industry clear requirements, protects us if things get challenged, and sets expectations before a dollar is spent.
Okay, so I just need to rework the QASP, and the PR package is good?
Not quite. You need to make sure your requirements document is solid. The program needs to choose the best fit out of the three options: a performance work statement, statement of work, or statement of objectives, and ensure that the information accurately and completely articulates the government's need. This is the official document that tells the contractor what they must deliver. Second, the QASP. It should be developed in tandem with your requirements document if you're using a PWS. This is how the government checks performance. No QASP, no meaningful oversight. Third, the IGCE. That's your cost reality check. What should this requirement cost? Broken down by the price or cost elements most suitable to what is being procured. Without it, we can't justify price reasonableness. There are many more documents you'll support, like the acquisition plan and market research, but those big three should be your primary focus from the start.
Okay, so those are all me. Fine. Let me take another crack at the QASP and maybe glance at the PWS and IGCE.
That's all I ask.
Hey! Typical. No one ever consults the end user.
Yeah.
You know, we could be working together.
Sophia has learned that a simple package of documents, quiet and unassuming, can determine cost, performance, and success long before a contractor ever begins work. But knowing what belongs in the package is only the first step. The real question now is whether she knows how to build it correctly.
I just don't get it, Mia.
Oh, I didn't think you'd notice me.
Why am I stuck in this endless loop repeating the same day? I mean, we've worked together already. I spent time with my weird neighbor rethinking the importance of the PR package, and what am I doing wrong?
Well, what did Eric want?
What every contract specialist wants, me to do all the work, but I guess he did point out the documents that are technically the program's responsibility.
Right. Why don't we look at those together? It's one thing to know that they're important. It's another thing to actually do them correctly.
Worth a try.
Let's start with the PWS. It answers one thing. What must the contractor accomplish?
So outcomes, not instructions?
Yes. If you tell them how to work, you're managing them. If you tell them what success is, you're overseeing performance. That's why performance-based work statements are preferred. Here's the rule you can't forget. Every shall, should, and must has to be measurable.
What happens if it's not?
Then you can't enforce it. And if two cores could read the same requirement and disagree on whether it was met, then it's a bad requirement. Now, the QASP answers a different question. How will the government verify performance? And this part is critical. Every performance standard in the PWS must appear in the QASP, no exceptions.
So if it's not in the QASP, then the government has no document way to verify it, which means it might as well not exist. Man, I really should have spent more time on this in the past.
Yeah, I know. And then the IGCE answers the last question. What should this requirement reasonably cost?
Can't we just use the company's quote for the price?
No, the IGCE is what the specific contract should cost if done properly. Without it, the CEO can't tell if the proposal is fair or wildly unrealistic.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about. Time to go deal with my annoying neighbor and run over the stranger in my driveway.
Pookie, don't forget your lunch. And you never consulted me about the typewriter specs. You know that's my specialty.
Okay, I promise I'll deal with you later. I just gotta go scare this neighbor in our driveway.
The neighbor in the driveway?
Hey neighbor, so I'll have that PR package back to you ASAP, okay?
Bless your heart, child. That's all I ask.
Hey. Typical. No one ever consults the end user.
Just stop talking.
Sophia has learned how to build the documents, how to define success, measure performance, and estimate cost and precision. But in this world, knowledge alone is never enough. Because even the most perfectly written package can unravel if the people behind it aren't aligned. And so, Sophia turns from documents to dialogue, where success depends not just on what you write, but on how well you listen, coordinate, and communicate.
Morning, Mia. Making yourself at home?
Always.
Sophia, lunch. And you never consulted me on those typewriter specs. You know that's my specialty.
You're right. Let's talk about the requirements.
I would love that.
I've just been going at this alone for so long, and I'm finally communicating better with my CO. But I've been ignoring you, my technical SME.
You don't know how long I've waited to hear that. Sophia, you can't build this in a vacuum. Just think of all the technical details involved in a typewriter. Prevention of jammed parts, proper lubrication for smooth operation, emergency repairs for damaged parts. If you don't get concerns and inputs early from the experts, like me, then you don't know what to include to get the right details from the contractor.
So I can just talk to you then? That would save me some time.
Not just me. When the acquisition team isn't coordinated, here's what happens every time. Requirements miss critical technical details. End users get frustrated and can't use their machines because of malfunction. And SMEs, like me, don't see the problem until the solicitation is already released. That's why I was so glad to see you and Eric talking outside. If you don't stay aligned with the contractor specialist, those same technical gaps turn into compliance problems. The documents drift far out of sync. Evaluation criteria don't match what the typewriter maintenance actually needs to do. That's why the core sits in the middle. You translate the mission needs into technical reality. Honey, your job isn't to know every technical detail about typewriter maintenance. That would be impossible for you.
I am really glad we had this talk. And you mentioned end users too, right?
Oh yes, it's important to talk to them too.
There's something I need to do.
Hey, there's my QASP queen.
Morning, Eric.
Hey.
Morning, end user. I need to tell you, I see you, I hear you, and I'm ready to work together.
I know, Sophia. I've always known.
Why didn't he move? It worked.
Sophia began this day believing contracts were built at award, that success arrived with a signature and a start date. But in a quiet house among neighbors, family, and voices she thought she already knew, she learned something far more important, that contracts are shaped long before industry ever responds, that incomplete packages invite confusion, that unclear requirements produce predictable failure, and that no one, no matter how capable, builds a sound acquisition alone. And even though she killed the end user, she has successfully broken the cycle, which can only happen in the Contracting Officers Representative Zone.